Like a diamond in the
In
sky.
the
Say
sky. Yeah.
WINKLE, just cause I'm little, don't you play with me. I'm like stick dynamite, fuses are like my explosions will keep you up all night. Got a couple of questions. What's with all the tension? First impressions aside, fresh in your mind. This expression of belief, my renditions on my sleeve. This expression of belief. I just don't wanna leave. You look at me and fret how I wonder what you are. What you see is what you get, and this ain't over yet. And don't you dare forget, I'ma be a star. We'll each reach up above the big blue sky. So join along this little song as I teach you all to fly.
Hello and welcome. Today we have a very special guest, Sophia Ashraf. Sophia Ashraf is an Indian singer, writer, and an activist whose work harnesses music, satire, and digital storytelling to speak truth to power. Born in Chennai, she first gained attention performing socially conscious rap that challenged prejudice and corporate negligence. Over the years, Sophia's protest song, most notably Kodai Kanal Won't, went viral and helped secure compensation for affected workers, earning her international recognition as a fearless voice for environmental and social justice. Beyond music, she has written and directed content that challenges patriarchal norms and moral policing, collaborated with icons like A.R. Rahman, and continues to blend. She continues to blend creativity and activism in her evolving career. Welcome, Sophia. Welcome to Awaz the Voice.
Thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you here. So, I would want to start immediately with your journey, beginning with rap. Please tell us more about it.
Rap. Well, that was an interesting part of my journey. I think
Yeah,
I was in college when my obsession with rap started, and it
right.
started with very silly or funny way, because the thing is, I grew up in a very orthodox Muslim household, and but
Right,
my parents were very encouraging of my talents. They said, you know what? Until you get married, do everything, explore your creativity because creativity is good for you. They never pressurized us to study too much because they're like, शादी करके घर पे बैठना है, you need to get married and sit at home. So they didn't
right,
force us to, like, obsess over studies too much. They're like, okay, have fun, do your culturals, do events, but do it in your girls school and your girls college, only
right,
inside these boundaries. And
right.
I loved creativity, and my thing was, I was an attention seeker. I needed to be on stage. I needed people to look at me. I needed lights. I needed all of that. So I found
Yeah,
any excuse to get on a stage and have that light
right.
hit. So when I joined college, I participated in everything: speaking, theater, elocution, this, that. And I loved music, but I couldn't sing. Like, I was really bad at singing. But the interesting
Right.
thing, my older sister, who went to the same
Hmm.
college, she
Hmm.
sings beautifully, voice of a nightingale. So they
Hmm.
immediately put the music team saying, oh, this one's sister, no? She must be good at singing. I
Yeah.
was like, I can't sing. And
Hmm.
my parents at that time, musical instruments were not allowed in the house because, if, as you know, in Islam, musical instruments are considered haram. So I couldn't play
Right.
instruments, but I wanted to do something. And
Right.
that's when I saw this girl on stage rapping. That was the era
Oh,
of MTV International. This I'm
right.
saying 2007. Actually, this was
Hmm.
2004. 2004, MTV International had just come to India and rap was just entering,
Yeah, that was the in thing back then.
yeah, with your Tupac and Notorious Big and your Bad Boy Inc. and all of that. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw this
yeah.
girl on stage rapping and I looked at her and I went, इससे better तो मैं कर सकती हूँ. So my inspiration to start rapping was someone who was doing it badly, and I was like, I can do better than this. And that's how I started rapping.
Oh, how wonderful. I mean, then rapping in its own way is a very in thing. I mean, before even others came in, Honey Singh, I think you started before Honey Singh, right?
I don't think so. I think
2004
Honey,
back then, I don't remember Honey
yeah.
Singh's song.
I'm sure he must have been rapping, but in his house, just like
In
I
his
was.
house.
Yeah.
Right. So your song, your very famous song called Kodai Kanal Won't, it became a global sensation. What was it about? What did it cover that it became a global sensation?
So actually, I would like to set a little context to how I went from I can do better than that to correct now won't.
Yeah,
So
we
what
would
would
want to know
happen?
that.
Yeah, so like I told you, I grew up very Orthodox Muslim, and which meant I was in a hijab, right? I was in a burqa, and
Right,
but I was performing on stage, and my mom said you could go to girls' college culturals. So I
right.
went into girls' college culturals in my hijab, which was just
Hmm,
something I wore as part of my
hmm.
religious identity. And in college cultures, you generally back then you used to perform covers. That is, you take Backstreet Boys and you'd perform a Backstreet Boys
Oh,
song, or
yeah, the
Metallica,
acoustic
or Nirvana,
covers and all. Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
just any covers. Like when you're
Right,
performing on stage, you don't generally write your own music. But
right.
I
But that
loved
would,
writing, right?
okay. I'm
Yeah,
saying
so
that
I
was a
love
lovely
writing.
time
Yeah,
when we used
it
to
was.
listen to covers, acoustic covers of those famous bands and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Please
even metal
continue.
covers or
Oh
rock
yeah,
covers.
metal was new back then.
Oh man, rock. I think I'll never outgrow rock. There's a rock girl in me always. So and
Yeah.
imagine in those stages there are these people, these bands doing rock covers of Metallica, Nirvana, and whatnot.
Right. Hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm a writer. You know, heart of
Right.
hearts, more than rapper and all these identities that you mentioned in my introduction, more at the core of it
Yeah.
all, I'm a writer. And I wanted
Okay.
to write songs. But of course, I'm a
Okay.
teenager, so it was all about personal
R
identity because,
Rage.
yes, uh, that kind of, rage. So emo
Yeah.
and stuff. But I wanted to write about myself. So what we would do is we would take popular songs, but I would add a rap verse in there, and
Oh
that was
wow.
very exciting for the audience also to see this girl in a burqa coming on stage and suddenly belting out original lyrics.
Yeah.
And what was beautiful about the Chennai audience was they were open to it. They
Oh.
received it with so much excitement and encouragement, and I was like, oh wow, I think I found my space. So I remember there was this one piece I had performed. I'd gone on stage. I was in a hijab, and
Yeah.
I got the audience to sing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." So the audience sang "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I
Yeah.
wonder
Right.
you are up
Right.
above the world so high, like a diamond in the
In
sky."
the
Say
sky. Yeah.
WINKLE, just cause I'm little, don't you play with me. I'm like stick dynamite, fuses will add my explosions will keep you up all night. Got a couple of questions. What's with all the tension? First impressions aside, fresh in your mind. This expression of belief, my renditions on my sleeve. This expression of belief. I just don't want to leave. You look at me and fret how I wonder what you are. What you see is what you get, and this ain't over yet. And don't you dare forget, I'ma be a star. We'll each reach up above the big blue sky. So join along this little song as I teach you all to fly. So I did this little
Wow.
piece
This was
about my
crazy.
thank you. So I did a piece about my identity as a hijabi,
Yeah.
and that struck a chord with the audience because I think they got a peephole into someone else's life and someone else's identity, right? So in the judges panel at that college cultural event, there was someone called Siddharth Hande who was part of
Okay.
this organization called Youth for Social Change, and
Okay.
we generally put up performances like concerts every year which are
Hmm.
around social issues. And I must do a little bit of a segue and talk about what they would do. They would do a concert called Justice Rocks. Now
Hmm.
generally, if you take
Hmm.
any music festival, take an NH7, Lollapalooza, take these music festivals, they're always
Right.
sponsored by corporates, right?
Okay.
But Youth for Social Change, as the name suggests, they are anti
Yeah.
establishment, they're anti crony capitalism, they're all about social and political progress. So
Right.
they obviously, when they put up a rock show or a music show, it is not sponsored, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
generally, what happens at a sponsored event, you come on stage and you say, oh, we love this fizzy water drink, please
Oh
drink
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're always promoting
You
some
have to
brand or the
cater the
other.
audio. You have to cater the advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be like powered by this, and there are these almost like verbal ads throughout the show.
Right. Right.
So what Justice Rocks did was they had fun with this idea of sponsorship. They call themselves unsponsored. And what do they
Oh.
mean by unsponsored? Every year, at each rendition of Justice Rocks, they would choose one corporate identity or an
Hmm.
unsponsored and
Yeah.
lampoon them throughout the event. So instead of
Hmm.
saying, oh, this drink is wonderful, please drink it, they would come and say, this is the black water of imperialism, it's polluting our rivers, do not
Oh.
drink this product. So
Wow.
teacher, they would pick a company and they would lampoon them or make fun of them throughout the event. So they
Oh,
came up to me and they said, "We heard your rap, and you seem to have a voice. We want to give you a stage. Come and perform here.
yeah,
You can speak about anything. You can speak about your religion. You can speak about your personal identity. Anything.
yeah.
It's open." And that's the
Hmm.
best thing you can give an artist, right? A free, unfettered, uncensored stage and a
Hmm.
platform to reach an audience.
Oh, that's wonderful. This is the actual social change that we were looking for. I mean, great work, Sophia.
Thank you.
So, just to share one anecdote, very recently there was, speaking of advertisements and corporate advertisements, there was very recently a concert of a very well-known singer, which I went to. So in between his performance, he randomly pulled out a toffee kind of a thing, which was actually medicated. So he pulled it out, cracked open it, and took the pill, and then said the tagline of the advertisement, and the crowd went bonkers. So I could relate now that I
It's
could
the
relate
yeah.
now that how the advertisements work, and you work just the opposite to that. I mean, it's wonderful. So also you mentioned that you went from personal s- um, let's say personal changes to societal changes. So I would want to ask you that people have labeled you as burqa raptivist and or burqa rapper or protest rapper. How did these identities shape your public perception of your work? I know that Chennai was open to it. How about the extension now?
Oh, great question. How did the public perceive it?
Yeah,
So I tried to fight those labels a lot. You know, you're always rebelling against labels. And I
yeah,
think as an artist, labels can be very restrictive because I remember when I wanted to move from rap to spoken word, people were like, "But no, you're a rapper. We want to hear rap from you." And I was like, "No, but this is an
right.
evolution in my art." I think
Yeah,
labels can be very restrictive that way. But then as I've grown and matured, I've realized two things. One, labels help people just categorize you in their brain. Your brains are chaotic. No, think about it. We have so much
yeah,
information in here. It just helps me categorize. Oh, this is a Muslim rapper or something. It
right.
just helps genres. Why do you look at genres? Why do you look at rom com as a genre? Why do you look at rap as a genre? It just helps people categorize. So now I don't
Yeah,
take as much offense because I'm like, hey, they're just doing this to categorize me in their head,
yeah.
as long as they are paying attention to what I have to say. And
Hmm.
sometimes the label gives a little bit of it gives me an extra platform. And in some places, I say, do not give me labels. For example, female rapper, female director. I
Yeah,
say, don't call me a female rapper, don't call me a female director. But
right.
that I say in a city like Mumbai. That I
Hmm.
say in a city like Chennai, where
Right.
already there has been some evolution and meritocracy exists. But just
Absolutely.
think, I come from Kannur, which is a city in Kerala. If I'm
Right.
going to Kannur, I've performed in Chandigarh. When I go to these places, I'm okay being called a female rapper because I know
Hmm.
that growing up, I didn't have role models. I didn't see
Hmm.
women doing rap growing up.
Hmm.
I mean, there
Right.
was Missy Elliott and Lisa Left Eye Lopes internationally.
Right. Right. Right.
But there weren't people in India doing it. There was
Hmm.
like two rappers in Chennai, female rappers in Chennai at that time. So I
Hmm.
think when I go to like a Chandigarh or a Kannur, I'm okay being called a female rapper because
Hmm.
I understand that there will be another Sophie in that audience looking up saying, if she can do it, I can do it.
I can do it just
And
like you
maybe
did
she
that.
can look at me and go, that sucks, I can do it better. you know, it's so I feel this idea of fighting labels is very contextual for me. In a city like Mumbai,
Yeah.
I'm like, don't call me female rapper, female director because you're kind of you're undermining my talent. But whereas
Yeah.
smaller cities, I'm like, you know what? Add the labels if it helps inspire people like me out there who are probably just seeking out people like them. So if someone's in a
Yeah.
hijab and they see a girl
Hmm.
in a hijab making content, she's like, oh, maybe I can do that. If someone
Yeah.
girl from Kerala and she sees a girl rapping, it's like maybe I can do that. So I think
Yeah.
labels can be restrictive artistically, but it's
Yeah.
also very powerful societally.
Absolutely, I agree to that. And it's a beautiful answer that you gave. So you're a content director as well. So I want to know how, you use satire and humor a lot. So I would want to know, how do satire and humor play a role in your content, especially when addressing serious topics like you do?
Oh, I think 98% of my content is humor. I think
Yeah,
it's my strength. It's what I naturally lean towards. And
yeah,
also, I think when I was younger, I was a lot angrier, you know.
yeah,
So
okay.
I chose medium like rap, which is so cathartic. And, like when you spit out bars, you feel like, you're spitting out blades at people. But if you
Yeah,
notice, there aren't many old rappers, because with the older you grow, you start to calm
mm,
down a little bit, and you choose
yeah,
love, you choose kindness,
yeah.
so I think
And
that
humor.
makes. And humor is that great in between part where you can still be badass, you can still be cool,
Yeah, yeah.
but you can do it, you can still say what you want to say without anger.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was young, there was this very problematic song called Clubbala Mubbala that was put out by
Hmm.
a very famous rapper in Chennai, and it
Hmm.
was talking about how Indian culture is going bad because women are going to clubs. And
Hmm.
I know that
Okay.
rapper, I know he goes to clubs. He did the
Hmm.
whole song in jeans and a t-shirt, rapping, which is not Indian
Hmm.
culture. And he was talking about,
Hmm.
oh, Indian culture is going bad because of women. And I know the
Oh,
direct implications of that.
irony.
Because, yeah, I right. And for him, it was a song that was fun. But the direct implication is then women were being lynched when they went to clubs because he had a huge fan following. So,
My God.
I'm like, this has a larger societal impact. So my
Hmm.
response, I was so angry. I think women across Chennai were just angry when they heard that song. And my response was this angry diss track, which worked then. Like, women were like, yeah, we feel heard, we feel seen.
Yeah.
But today, if I were to do it, I'd probably use humor. I'd probably use love. I'd probably use,
Right.
there's this saying that we all say in the developmental community: don't call out, call in.
Call
You
in. Oh,
know,
wow.
because I could have made him an ally if I'd explained. Because after that, after
Yeah.
the diss track, a reporter put the two of us in contact and said, "Why don't you all speak to each other? You're both rappers, you're both artists." And I spoke to him,
Right.
and he said,
Hmm.
"I understand your point of view. I agree with what you're saying. I
Yeah.
don't believe women are the villains and all of that. But if so many
Hmm.
people have liked it, there must be some truth." And I'm like, what is that even? But at least we had some conversation with some step towards the right direction.
Yeah.
So for me, the using humor has always been such a powerful tool, and I found that calling in can be done so much with
Hmm.
humor, and
Yeah.
so that's why I love exploring all sorts of humor, from comics to web comics to film to content to songs. I try to use humor everywhere I go.
Oh, how wonderful. One thing I want to ask you personally, uh, what was your experience in working in advertising, collaborating with film, music, and now that you create digital content, obviously. So, can you tell me how these different creative industries informed your approach to storytelling?
Hmm. Well, it really, I think, it kept me on my toes because
Yeah,
take the example of Justice Rocks itself, right? We started
yeah,
from
okay.
a physical stage and then we went
Hmm,
to social media. And that
right,
journey itself was facilitated because I was in advertising and I understood how to speak to, how to speak to an audience, how to communicate on a digital space. And then
all
from there,
right.
we went to content. I think it
Hmm,
constantly keeps me on my toes, and one thing
hmm,
feeds into the other. I feel legacy reportage also kind of feeds into social commentary that feeds into content. It all, I think, just combines together. But I think the
right,
one thing that helps me marry all of this and create relevant content is I never stop being an audience. And what do I mean
right.
by that? When it comes to
Hmm.
newspapers, I never stopped reading newspapers. When it came to content, I never stopped watching. I always approach my content as an audience. So
Hmm.
that's what helped me across these industries where I'm like, as an audience, what do I want? Not as
Right.
someone speaking at you, as someone
Right.
listening, what do people want to hear? So I
Yeah.
think these various industries really fed into each other. And I'm sure there must
Yeah.
be a lot of young listeners out there who must be like, I have a lot of I have a lot of interests, I have a lot of talents, I don't know what to do. Should I make, start specializing already? I feel when you're
Hmm.
young, do everything, but do
Yeah.
everything with full heart. I
Oh,
see sometimes,
ultimate passion.
them, yeah, because I see some people, it's like, I'm interested in everything, so I'll do everything essay.
Little, little. Yeah.
Little. And what happens with that little, right? For example, just think you want to try advertising and you come into advertising. You say, I'm just trying it out. If it doesn't work out to me, I'll go into filmmaking because I like filmmaking. So the
Yeah.
moment someone gives you some feedback in advertising, saying your writing can be better, you immediately go, oh, this is not what I meant to do anyway. I'll go to filmmaking.
Hmm.
That
Right.
doesn't work. When you do anything, when you're grappling multiple fields, I think it's so important to see it through. So if you're
Yeah.
doing advertising, when someone gives you feedback, take it and improve yourself. Because here's
Hmm.
something that I think a lot of great artists will tell you. You
Hmm.
might be, when you're starting out, you might be good at something. You've written one
Yeah.
poem and your school teacher said, very good, maybe you should try writing. And you decide, I'll become a writer.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be pretty good for a beginner. But then
Hmm.
when you join the industry and you start writing and you
Yeah.
realize now you have to be pretty good for an amateur, then you have to be pretty good
Hmm.
for a professional, and that
Right.
is not linear. It's like this: you'll be here and then
Oh.
someone will say, oh, your work is horrible, you should never be a writer. But you climb
Yeah.
up and then you
Yeah.
start becoming pretty good for an amateur. Then again you're down
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, you're not good enough. You spent 3 years in the industry, why aren't you good enough?
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
think when you're doing multiple things like content, film, advertising, it's very important to be bad at it and then
Hmm.
grow and really give it your all before you decide, hey, do I want to move to the next? And as your question asks, each of these industries will feed into the other. I feel
Yeah.
like I've done voiceover acting. I've dubbed for anime like Ninja Hattori. I've done theater. I've
Wow.
done music, art, costumes, filmmaking, directing, writing, acting, music, and all of this has somehow fed into something somehow. I'll give you a very cute
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Recently we did a little content piece, which
Okay.
was we were shooting for a talk show, and at that year 2024 I was really into making miniatures. I was just doing it as a hobby on
Oh,
the side, and that
right.
specific video they said we want to cut away to miniatures. So
Hmm.
something I was doing as a hobby came into my video. So
Oh, wow.
everything will feed in somehow, just as long as you get passionate and obsess. So
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
advice to people will be just obsess over what you do. You will get better at it, or it will feed into some
Yeah.
aspect of it.
I agree. I agree. If you put your passion into anything, it'll come out to be really great, like it turned out in your case. So, Sophia, I know that you have worked with a lot of industrial people, where, I mean, the entertainment industry I'm talking about, say Kusha Kapila and A.R. Rahman. So, I would want to know your experience with Mr. A.R. Rahman, the Grammy winner. So, how was it like?
Yeah, they say never meet your idols because the scales fall. With Rahman sir, it was never like that. I still today I'm such a fan. I think he's one of the best bosses I had. In fact, I'm a director now because of him. Because Rahman
Oh,
sir has this
hmm,
passion. I say no, the obsess. He obsesses, and it's not just music. Anything. Take fragrances, he'll obsess about it. Filmmaking, he'll
hmm,
obsess about it. There was a
hmm,
time where he was into VR filmmaking. He just obsesses. He'll take books and he'll read, and he
hmm,
saw that in me. So he will be like, here are some books, here's some stuff, read, learn, get better at it. So when I joined him, I joined as a rapper and a writer. Then he saw that
hmm,
I was interested in filmmaking. He said, okay, you will edit my videos for me. So I was doing some
hmm,
editing, and I used to work
hmm.
on one software, which was Adobe Premiere. But his
Right,
computer had FCP, and I went, no, sir, I know only Premiere, I don't know FCP. He said, so what?
right.
Here's a
Hmm.
computer with 16 GB RAM. Spend 2 days in the office, learn the software. And
Right.
that he taught me, it's learning technology. So what? He would
Yeah.
just make it like learn it. And then I remember this one day I had shot something for him. I was not a director back then. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'd shot something for him. And some celebrity walked into the studio and he introduced
Yeah.
me to the celebrity, which he didn't need to. And then he said,
Hmm.
this is Sophia. She's the director.
Oh,
And
wow.
something clicked in my head. I was like, I like the sound of that because I was at that stage where I was trying to see what is my career. Like you said, I did entertainment, I did this, I did that, I did theater. What do I want to do? And when he said director, something clicked in me. And I think I'm a director today because Rahman sir introduced me to someone as a director. And I don't think he's even aware what an impact he has on
L-
creative people's lives.
Let me stop you there. Am I talking to a next Oscar director winner? Because if Rahman, A.R. Rahman can look into it, then of course I can idealize you.
Inshallah, inshallah.
You mentioned social media, how you moved from getting physical contact to moving to social media. I want to know how effective is social media in for your activism? I mean, for any activism for that thought.
I think social media is a great tool to reach a lot
Hmm.
of people,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't be your be all and end all. If you
Hmm.
see a campaign like Kodaikanal won't, even though it's a little outdated, I think it's at least
Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah.
But at the root of it, there was a lot of things that still apply today, which is that we, it wasn't just a song we put out and walked away. It was done in
Hmm.
association with the Workers' Association. It was done
Right.
with lawyers ready. We had a lot of
Yeah.
on ground, we had reporters, we had lot of facets to that campaign. There was
Yeah.
newspaper articles going out. There was research done by research which scientists. So I think if you get someone's attention, fine, but what do you
Yeah.
do with that attention? There needs to be an ecosystem around it.
Hmm.
And one of the, I think, Nityanand Jayaraman, who is my mentor at Vetiver Collective, who had produced the
Hmm.
video, he always
Right.
said, 4 million views does not mean 4 million people better informed. Just because Kodaikanal
Hmm.
won't got 4 million views doesn't mean if I
Yeah.
call one of those 4 million people and say, okay, tell me about mercury poisoning, they'll be like, what is mercury? You know?
Yeah. The perception is different.
Yeah, and also like maybe some have you ever sat in a cab today and seen that the driver will just have a video running at
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
side, not
Most of
even
the
paying
times. Yeah.
attention? That's a
Yeah.
view. That's
Oh,
engagement.
of
And
course.
my
Yeah.
my husband works as a data strategist, and he explains to me the fallacy of views and engagement. Even if
Right.
you're on your phone and on YouTube and a video rolls, without audio, you just hover your mouse over it, it rolls. That's a view. That's engagement.
So that's a view. Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel when you're making social media campaigns, stop attributing so much weightage to views and engagement.
Mm.
Attribute more to what are you doing with your message and what happens before and after. Focus on the
Yeah.
environment and the ecosystem you're building. Focus on the community you're building. It
Hmm.
cannot just be मैंने एक video डाल दी मेरा काम हो गया. So while
Yeah.
social media is a great way to get that attention, I
Hmm.
think you need to work with the community to direct that attention towards actual social change.
Oh, that's a very interesting take. I mean, not only the view should be important, but the actual social change that you want to bring should be more important. It's a beautiful take, I must say. Sophia, you spoke about being a female director, being called a female rapper. What sort of a pressure does it bring on you? I mean, how do you want to change it, or how would you, what is your take basically?
Well, see, when it comes to being called a female director, there are
Yeah,
uh, there are some implications that happen with that. Like, for
yeah,
example, if you take a film set,
yeah.
it's a very toxic space. I feel like
Hmm.
in India, especially, if there is any place where a form of extremely bad working conditions still exist, it will
Yeah,
be tea plantations and film sets. Film
yeah,
sets are horrible. People work extremely long hours for extremely low pay because they're either doing it for the passion, they're doing it
yeah,
for recognition, they're doing it for exposure. There's just people are just tormented, and there's so much pressure put in because there's a lot of money being pumped in, and that pressure of that money involves everyone just yelling at everyone, and that's a film set.
mm,
For me,
yeah,
I said I will not do that on a film set. My sets should be a space that is safe, inclusive, warm, fun,
yeah. Oh,
exciting. Because then the product
yeah,
also it shows. Because I told you, 98% of the stuff I'm doing is comedy. And if I'm going to be
yeah,
like yelling at people and be like, oh my god, that joke not funny, how are people going to be funny? And I think
yeah,
that attitude should extend not just to your cast. It should
Hmm.
extend to your crew. It should extend to the lightmen, to your spot boys,
Hmm.
to the production
Yeah.
people who are serving you tea and coffee.
Yeah. And then
This
finally
is
to the audience as well.
exactly it. And
Yeah.
for me, I feel, a lot of people say the ends justify the means. Oh, you work
Hmm.
really hard, grueling, but then you made a piece of art. I don't believe that. I was like, you know
Oh,
what? The At the end of the day, a film set is a professional space, and I want to
absolutely.
behave in that space the way I would behave in a profession. I
Hmm.
don't believe in profits over people. I don't
Hmm.
believe in end product or high art over experience. So
Yeah.
make sure that on film sets there is no yelling. There's this habit, like, on a film set, someone's phone rings. They're like, "Kiska phone baja," and everyone starts to yell. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Someone's phone rang. We will take the take again. I feel a
Yeah.
lot of times people yell on sets because they haven't planned, and when they haven't
Yeah.
planned, even little things can throw things out, because even a phone ringing can throw the entire schedule awry. If a
Yeah.
phone ringing is throwing your schedule awry, you need to plan better. So for me,
Oh,
my idea is to make a space better by planning better, by being good at what I do. So then
yeah.
people come, I've had producers come to me and says, "See, we love the work, we love everything, but we feel you should yell a little bit more. Otherwise, these people know they won't respect you." And I say,
Yeah.
no, I will prove you wrong. I
Right.
will run a set without yelling, and at the
Hmm.
end of the day, I will wrap up on time, and then you will see people will respect me. And I have
Hmm.
found that I have managed to do. I've shot over like 150 videos. I've been on over 150 sets. We don't yell. We
Yeah.
maintain a calm composure. We tell our assistant directors, please don't yell, treat people with kindness. And that, I think, when you said how is it being a female director, I think that's something we could bring to a set. We don't have to be
Hmm.
a worst version of a man on a set to run it.
Right.
We
Right.
can bring
Absolutely.
feminine energy, that feminine sense of dealing with love.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe if you put pressure on someone, they could turn into a diamond, but you could
Hmm.
also say with love, and you could still make a great piece of content or a great work of art.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
for me, I think being a female in these spaces, I try to play to my strengths instead of hiding it. I
Yeah.
think when I was younger, I was one of those pick me girls who was like, I'm not like other girls, gross.
Yeah.
But now I'm that person who's like, I am like other girls. I'm kind. I'm thoughtful. I'm meticulous. I'm
Yeah.
detail oriented, and I bring all that female energy into a set, and people love working on sets like that.
Yeah. So earlier when we spoke over the phone, I remember this was a very huge part of your introduction that you want to talk about this female energy. So because now why I asked you this question, because partially I relate to you, but partially I don't, because I am a journalist. So as you said that things can be planned in a certain way. For journalists, it can't be done. And the situation of a newsroom every day is uh, a little chaotic. So every time something comes in, we have to immediately work upon it. So there's always chaos. So I wanted to know how you dealt with it, and hands down, you deal with it absolutely perfectly.
Right.
I
But yeah,
also
I can
want to,
imagine a
yeah.
newsroom is crazy. Yeah.
It is crazy. So, and also being a female journalist, it's not very difficult to voice your opinion. We are trained to do that. I know amongst so many people, I can still be the voice that can be heard. So that's one thing that I didn't relate to. I mean, because people, I mean, you told me your experience that you need to be you need to be loud and cursing away to the glory and this, that, and the other. But this was isn't the case with us. It's the other way around.
Yeah. Because if you're just a person who's just constantly yelling, no one's going to take you seriously. If you're that
Yeah,
person
that's
who's
what.
always calm and composed, and that one time where you
One
get
time you
stern,
scream. Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
people know. People take your opinion seriously. So, like,
Seriously,
if
very,
I'm
very much.
constantly pushing back, I'm constantly saying
Hmm,
no, no, no to everything, people
hmm.
won't, my no will hold no weightage. But
Yeah,
those few times when I say no, this is not how it is, and this is how it'll be done, my no has that weightage. And I think
yeah,
these are
I
things
agree.
you learn as a professional.
Absolutely. So I not that I want to stop this conversation. I really like talking to you. You're a very fun person. I mean, even while I was reading about you, I was so interested in talking to you. So, but I have to conclude this. But before concluding, I want to know what would you want to send as a message to young creators, the budding creators who are coming forward now?
I think the biggest message I would tell young creators is something we spoke about earlier, which is give too much weightage to views and engagement.
Yeah.
When you're starting off as an artist, form your art and craft first before putting it out in the world. I feel like I think a lot of young people today see these viral things and they're like,
Mm.
Mujhe bhi viral hona hai.
Mm.
I want a fast
Yeah.
track success.
Yeah.
There is a beauty in slowness that you won't realize, because what happened to me with Kodaikanal Won't was I was rapping, yes, I was rapping then for 5, 6, 7 years, and I got really famous suddenly, and I stopped growing as an artist because I got
Oh,
critical. Because I got
right.
famous, everyone wanted me to perform. I had so much of attention. You should see my diary. Then every page, every minute was accounted for in interviews and performances, and people flying me around the world. And I'm like, oh, I am good. I got that. I believe that, मैं हूँ. I've reached
You've
peak.
made it. Yeah.
But I know that after that I had to go. No, no, no. I need to go back and grow more.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
needed to be self accountable. So don't seek out that instant virality. It's not as beneficial to your art as you think it is. First,
Mm.
form your own voice. Don't pander to the audience. Don't say, oh, if I do this reel or if I do this trend, then I will get views. Then I can become an artist. No, no, no. Become an
Right.
artist first. Form your
Yeah.
form a voice first. Don't
Yeah.
think about the audience. Think about what you want to say. Think about the art
Absolutely.
you want to do. Play around with things. Get messy. Get dirty. Get your hands
Mm.
dirty. Make bad art. Make great art. Make good art.
Mm.
And then enough of that. I mean, you'll never have
Yeah.
enough of that. When you've done it for a while, you feel like you've had a voice, only then go out there and put it out there in the world.
Yeah.
I think,
Okay.
wow, you're very lucky you met A.R. Rahman. And I truly believe I'm very lucky I met A.R. Rahman. But when I
Yeah.
met him, I already had a bank of songs. You can
Right.
meet A.R. Rahman today, and if you have just no songs and say, I have ideas, it's
Mm.
pointless, right? You get
Yeah.
luckier the harder you work. So build
Yeah.
that bank,
Absolutely.
build that voice. Do
Mm.
not give in to pandering to an audience, because, like Nityanand Jayaraman said, 4 million views does not mean 4 million people better
People.
informed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
4 million followers does not mean 4 million best friends. It's a very
Mm.
social relationship. Focus
Yeah.
on you and your art and your actual physical relationships before you put yourself out there.
Yeah, that's a wonderful advice. I hope this upcoming generation of content creators and directors and the whole entertainment industry listens to this and follows it.
Yeah,
So
I hope so.
anyway, it was lovely speaking with you, Sophia, getting to know you, and I'm sure that we will invite you again, and we hope that you join us again. Thank you so much for joining us.